Alright, so you saw the previous video where we were exhaling easier with the Corvette. That means we got the AWE exhaust and the Soul Performance high flow cats on the car, so now it can exhale easier. You know what comes next? We gotta breathe easier. So what does that mean? Let's talk about it. What's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the vlog. Thanks for pressing play. Today we are gonna be doing all of the Breathe Easy mods on the C8 Corvette Z06. That means we are doing the 91mm ported throttle bodies from Solar Performance, and we are also doing, yes, you guessed it, the eventuri intake. We got it exhaling easy, now we need to make it breathe easy. These of course are gonna add some power, add some cool factor, and yeah, they're just gonna make this car what it should have been from factory. Let's jump into it. There she is, of course, looking fantastic, all carbon fibered out. I think we might try to change this stripe here. Maybe something a little more Seawolf. We'll see what happens. And of course, right beside the intake, we have to have the 91mm ported throttle bodies from Solar Performance. Those two things combined are really gonna help make this car breathe easy. So let's start tearing some stuff apart. Alright, I do want to take a look at the actual stock throttle bodies here compared to the ported 91mm Solar Performance throttle bodies, and then even those compared to the 87mm ported throttle bodies. All from Solar Performance. Obviously, you're going to get a little bit more of a port job with the 91s, and that inner shaft is removed as well, which is going to give you that 91mm effective porting job. Now, outside of that, they look very similar, but the stock ones have the same kind of build as well. So you're really getting into a throttle body replacement, not necessarily just replacing internals or anything crazy like that. It's just an entire replacement. And the 91s are going to flow the absolute most amount of air, and that is even over the 87s, of course. But the biggest reason for the additional airflow is on the backside. When you look at the stock throttle body versus the 91s, there's a dimpling there that actually helps with air velocity and, of course, just jamming more air in there. On the 87s, you don't get that same dimpling. It's more like the stock throttle body on the backside of the 87s. So that's really the difference between the 91s and the 87s. If you guys were interested in either one of those two, I have always chosen to go with the 91s because of the port job and just because I want the absolute max performance out of these things if I'm going to be switching them out. You can see the porting at the top of the 91 versus the stock throttle bodies have absolutely no porting. First, we're unplugging any electrical connectors for the throttle bodies. Then we're going to get into actually removing the 4 10mm screws that are holding each throttle body onto the actual intake. And then here I am again showing the stock versus the 91mm ported throttle body. You can see all of the porting in here and how you can actually see light through that throttle blade, whereas with the stock one, there's nowhere near as much. And then on the back of the 91mm, again, the dimpling, and again, being able to see actual light through that throttle blade, whereas with this one, it's all pretty much airtight. Here we are now putting on the 91mm ported throttle bodies, again, just reinserting the 10mm screws that held on the stock ones. It's literally just a swap job. You loosen off the old ones, put on the new one, tighten everything down, and plug it all back in, and you are pretty much good to go. After we get the throttle bodies installed, we're going to go ahead and start into the eventuri intake process. And of course, that's going to be putting in the carpet first and cutting a small little square into the carpet to allow us to then put our hand through and trace the opening in the back so we can later cut the carpet to fit. And of course, put that nice clear cover in there to make sure everybody can see the fact that you have that eventuri intake. Now, this carpet's not super easy to cut. You have to kind of use a box cutter and saw at it, but as long as you have a sharp blade, you should be able to get the job done. Here I am actually tracing the outline of the opening behind the carpet, and I'm tracing that onto the back of the carpet so I know exactly where to cut it. After that, we're going to go ahead and remove the carpet again, because now we got to start fitting in all of the eventuri parts. So we're going to go ahead and add these in now. And what's interesting about these is initially they did not have foam on the back whenever I first put this on my black car. Eventuri added it, I guess, to help make that more of a seal. So these go on the far ends here before the rubber couplers go on for the intake. The first piece of the eventuri intake is going to be the lower bracket, literally just held in with 2 T40 screws. Take out what was there for the stock intake, put in these 2 T40 screws from factory, and just tighten them down. After that, we're going to step outside on the back of my tailgate for the truck. We're going to go ahead and start assembling the eventuri bracket. 2 of the small Allen head screws will hold the heat bracket in place. These are marked Z06 left and Z06 right, so you know exactly where they're going. So the first one we're going to do is the left one. 2 small Allen key screws and 2 nuts on the back that are an 8mm for the smaller Allen keys. We're going to do the same thing on the left and right side. Again, these are marked, so just put them in the corresponding locations. After we're done with that, we're going to go ahead and put the antenna on the top, again with 2 small Allen screws, but you're going to want to make sure that the Allen screw goes down through the back side so it does not affect the electrical connection. After that's all done, we'll go ahead and take the bracket and install it on the car, again with 2 T40 screws that are again reused from the factory intake. You do just fit it in place, but there are some electrical connections you can push into the backside of the bracket with Christmas tree style connections. Again, these are factory connections. They're just meant to hold the wires up out of the way of anything hot, like the cats that are located right there. After we do that, we're going to go ahead and put the eventuri intake in. The entire carbon fiber body will slide in with the rubber couplers in the back to go right over the new Solar Performance 91mm ported throttle bodies. It's a little bit of a chore to get this thing in, so just work with it. You got to kind of go in at an angle, and then straight in will allow it to pop right into place. Once it's in place, we're going to then go ahead and use the rubber couplers on the sides, which will connect everything up to the stock air intakes. And then, of course, we're going to finish it off with the plexiglass covering, which are going to be all 19 of those T15 screws again to finish up the entire installation. After you put the screws back in, I went ahead and cut the carpet, and I did do that off screen because it is not super easy, but just follow the instructions and you'll be good to go. All right, so first start after adding the eventuri intake and the Solar Performance 91mm throttle bodies. I didn't disconnect the battery, so I might get a check engine light, but after I clear it, it should never come back because neither one of these 2 products will cause check engine lights. But yeah, let's do it. Now, something I didn't really talk much about in this video, guys, the Solar Performance 91mm ported throttle bodies, we've had those on a car before, so I know what to expect. The eventuri intake, I've had that on my black car. What I really wanted to focus on here is that obviously with the black car, the eventuri intake was sponsored, so I didn't pay anything for that intake, installed it, really loved the intake, really loved it, to the point where with the new Seawolf Gray Z06, I needed another cold air intake, and didn't even think twice about it, contacted eventuri. They did not want to sponsor another intake for me, so I bought it. I literally paid cash for my intake. So that should tell you something. I got the first one for free. It was so good, I bought the second one because I still wanted that same intake set up on the new car. Now, that, to me, that should speak volumes because, yes, whenever you get the parts for free, sometimes the opinions are jaded. Mine never are. And I've told you guys before, I will never sell you a product that isn't good. But just for those people out there who aren't 100% certain that I'm telling the truth, I bought this intake. So if you thought I was lying about the last review or thought I was hyping it up because I got it for free, I bought this one. That's how it goes. I liked it so much. The other options on the market just aren't up to my standards. The eventuri is still the best intake. I could have got the other ones for free. I could have contacted them and they probably would have sent me a sponsored set.
of air filters, sponsored cold air intake, whatever you want to, however you want to slice it. Either way, I went with the one that I was going to have to pay for because I know it's the best option. Along with the solar ported throttle bodies, this is the best setup for this car. So that's really going to do it for the video, guys. Obviously, I'll do some driving with it, and of course, the driving aspect is going to be very similar to how it was on my black Z06. Really a huge performance boost and drivability boost. The 91mm throttle bodies really make the car respond better. The eventuri makes it have more torque throughout the power band. I mean, we're talking 40 plus horsepower from that eventuri throughout the power band. And then the ported throttle bodies adding about 10 to 15 on top of it. So, I mean, really good stuff here. I'm super happy with the mods. And now we're finally getting into some performance stuff. I got to tell you guys, I'm at the gas pump, and you know how that is nowadays in a Z06. But on the way here, I have totally forgotten just how good this car is with the solar performance throttle bodies and the eventuri intake. The drivability of this car is totally freaking different. Totally different. The power comes on way sooner. The second you touch the gas pedal, the power is applied. It is the way this car should have come. Now, I had the benefit, I guess, I'll say benefit, with my black car of kind of building it up slowly over time. And then the gray car here now, I kind of knew what I was going to do right off the bat and got to do it all at once. So I went from a car that was fully done to my gray car that was completely stock. And you could tell immediately the mods that I had on the black car were 100% necessary, because the gray car now literally felt slow. It literally felt 50 to 80 horsepower slower than the black car. And it was noticeable. The drivability is different, the power's different, the sound was different. And it's interesting to be able to get that stark difference of completely done to completely stock. Now we're building this one back up, and I kind of forgot what it was like to drive this car in the way that it should have been with the ported throttle bodies and the eventuri intake. This thing is a freaking animal. It is so much better. The throttle sensitivity is better. The sound is better. The way the power comes on is better. This thing literally feels like a different car. It's wild. 100% recommend these two mods. Anyway, guys, thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe if you haven't yet. And as always, stay obsessed.